So as some of you may know, Cracked released a video today called or not today, but a couple days ago, they released a video called Why We Need to Say Goodbye to Vaping. And We Act on Impulse, am here to tell you why that video is bullshit. Now they made a couple points, all of them are bullshit, and I'm going to go over them pretty much one by one, except for the Hitler thing he said, because that was fucking retarded. I'm not even going to go into just how brain dead that was. That was just, why did he even say that? But I'm going to go into the rest of the shit and tell you, like, what the fuck is going on with this, because it's retarded. So the first point he makes is that propylene glycol is in e-cigs, and propylene glycol is also in antifreeze. And this has been discussed already. Propylene glycol is safe. The propylene glycol in e-cigs is like food grade. It's safe. This has been discussed since 2006. Everybody knows it's safe. Nobody fucking cares. Propylene glycol is fine. I mean, there's also World War II, like, poisonous bomb gas in Splenda. Like, and nobody's talking about that. People are just talking about e-cigs. Or Cracked is, anyway, because Cracked is being stupid. But that was our first point. Propylene glycol is safe. You can Google it. I've got sources in the description. You can check all my sources. I've got sources for everything I'm saying. Cracked doesn't have any sources for anything they're saying. So that's also retarded. Now, the next point is that they said, yo dog, formaldehyde is in e-cigs, which is, one, not true at all. And let me explain why that's not true. The journal that was published in the, what was it published in? I'm looking at this shit right now on my computer screen. The New England Journal of Medicine, but it was published by a third party and then published into the New England Journal of Medicine. And it said that if you vape at 5 volts, then it produces 15 milligrams of formaldehyde, which is about 3 times as much as a pack of cigarettes worth of formaldehyde. And then he goes on to say, yo dog, that causes cancer. One, that's not true. Formaldehyde doesn't cause cancer. We've linked formaldehyde to cancer. We've called it a carcinogen, and yes, I have sources for this. In 1980, there was a study done on lab rats when they were, like, constantly exposed to formaldehyde. They got lung cancer. But really, we don't know. The short-term effects of formaldehyde, we know. We know that it causes skin irritation and, you know, makes your eyes watery and makes you cough and shit. Which, okay, the cold does that too. Who fucking cares? I'll tell you who. Nobody. Except Cracked. They care a lot for some fucking reason. But we don't really know the long-term effects of formaldehyde. But that's besides the point. Because there isn't formaldehyde in e-liquid. The study was completely false, completely retarded. When it was checked again by the actual New England Journal of Medicine, they pulled the article because when they tested it and actually had actual scientists and not retarded pseudoscientists, they realized that you had to burn the e-juice at around 800 degrees, 800 fucking degrees, to get any amount of formaldehyde, and the amount of formaldehyde they got was from a chemical reaction, and it was so minuscule, it was ridiculous, they could barely pick it up. That's how tiny it was. So, it's impossible. You're not getting any formaldehyde by smoking e-cigs. And even the article they published saying volting at 5 volts, that's impossible. You can't vape at 5 volts because of the dry air phenomenon. You can't do it. And you don't get any formaldehyde anyway, because to get any amount of formaldehyde, you'd have to melt your e-cig. It would have to be 800 degrees. Your face would be melting off. Then he goes on to say that e-cigs are only less dangerous than regular cigs, which is also bullshit because e-cigs are completely safe. Like, that's just true. This has been discussed already. Then he goes on to say there's lack of evidence that e-cigs are safe. That's not true. There's plenty of evidence that e-cigs are safe. It makes perfect sense. And a matter of fact, if you're really fucking paranoid, I'm going to go ahead and tell you why e-cigs are safe. E-cigs contain propylene glycol, glycerin, water, nicotine, and flavorings. Most e-liquid doesn't even contain nicotine no, of course they all contain nicotine. Most e-liquid does not even contain water or vegetable glycerin. And some e-cigs and some e-liquid from China contains diacetyl, which isn't exactly good for you, but just don't get the ones with diacetyl in them. And propylene glycol is safe. It's food grade. Glycerin is safe. It's all natural. It's from vegetables. Water is obviously safe unless there's fluoride in it, which there isn't because the water that they put in e-liquid is super, super pure, super filtered. It's beautiful water. And nicotine obviously is safe. You know, nobody's ever overdosed on nicotine. It's impossible. and flavorings. Which can be anything. There's flavorings in your food. Everything you eat has artificial flavorings in it. But, yeah. If you're really fucking paranoid, here's what you do. You make your own e-liquid. You use only vegetable glycerin, nicotine, and you make your flavorings naturally from fruit. 100% organic, safe, all-natural e-liquid that you can vape in your vaporizer. And it's completely safe. But, I mean, the shit you buy at the store is safe, too, as long as it doesn't have diacetyl in it. Which diacetyl isn't even really harmful for you. It's just not very good. But you can literally look at the ingredients on the back of e-liquid. And then he goes on to say that because there's models and this is really fucking retarded. The Cracked video, the dude in it, this douchebag, he goes on to say, "Yo dog, the blue e-cigarette commercials have actors in them, and those are bad actors, therefore e-cigarettes must be bad." I don't know if that, I know he was fucking serious, but that just seems like such a fucking joke to me. Oh my fucking god. That's retarded. Then he says everybody looks retarded when they smoke e-cigarettes, which is retarded because everybody looks fucking awesome when you vape. Like, if you're vaping, you're awesome, and I love you, and I want to take a selfie with you. And then he just keeps going on and on about stupid bullshit, and he says something about Hitler too, which is retarded. I don't even know what the fuck he was on. He was probably smoking Sherm. Like, that's just retarded. But yeah, it's just retarded. It's all bullshit, and you can look all this shit up, and I've got links in the description. I've got sources. Crack doesn't have sources because they're retarded. But I have sources because I'm not retarded. So, I'm just gonna leave you guys at that. And Cracked, one more point. This is to you, Cracked. Are you trying to fucking kill people? Like, people's lives have been saved from switching over from regular cigarettes to e-cigarettes and dropping smoking completely. And that's saving lives by not having people smoking cigarettes and getting tar covered in their lungs, and they're not able to filter air properly, and just getting cancer and all this shit from cigarettes. Are you trying to kill people, Cracked? Like, are you trying to kill people? Like, really?